The first few days in my graduate role looked like this. Not a clue what was happening. I was seriously shy, not sure where I was adding value, so I'd keep my eye on the bins. And as soon as something went in, like a packet of crisps or anything, I could empty that bin. Now, don't worry, you will develop confidence in time, but I want to help you speed that up and get ahead. I'm Tom from The Career Graduate. Coming up are 3 weekly tips for when you start your graduate career. If this is your first time to the channel, we're churning out loads of advice, hints and tips to help you transition into your new career with confidence. So please like and subscribe so you don't miss out. Going from education to the world of full-time employment is huge. It's a massive transition. So here's 3 tips to help you get ahead. 1, build up a network. From your interview to your assessment center to the first few days in training and in the job, go and meet as many people as possible. Introduce yourself, build up your brand and your network. Of course, some of these people likely won't be allies of yours in the future, but some definitely will. Now at this point, you've got nothing to lose, and it's far easier to introduce yourself as the newbie than in 4 months down the line when you haven't spoken to them at all. So get out there and say hello. Tell them who you are and be inquisitive about their role. People love talking about themselves. Tip number 2, tell your bosses how ambitious you are. Now don't shy away from your short, medium and long-term goals. Often your managers will make assumptions about what you want, how quickly you want to progress, and even how happy you are in your current role. So constantly reminding your bosses of where you want to be and what that looks like from a time frame perspective really puts the onus on them to ensure that they will, 1, kind of help you and tell you how to get there, and secondly, make sure that they create those opportunities for you to progress into. So don't be overlooked because your bosses think you're happy where you're at right now. Tip number 3, jump straight in and don't be afraid to make mistakes. At this stage in your career, there are no silly questions. You are knowledge building, and really, you need that thorough understanding of your job to perform well. I remember standing at the front of the office and thinking to myself, I have asked the same question 3 or 4 times and I still can't remember the answer. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, if I ask again, this is going to tip my boss over the edge, and wondered, who hired this numpty? Anyway, I pluck up the courage, and guess what? My boss was fine about it, really supportive, and actually reassured me that he'd felt exactly the same way when he started. So these are surefire ways to get ahead. I know it's daunting, and I don't want to put too much pressure on you. You certainly shouldn't put pressure on yourself, because the person you are today is likely to be very different to the person that you're going to be in a couple of years' time. So please enjoy that journey. Pop a comment below if you've experienced anything similar, if these tips have worked for you, and again, subscribe to make sure you don't miss out. I'll be back next week with 3 more tips for getting ahead when you start that graduate role.